Uno. Double, triple check. Can you hear us now? Yeah? Yes, there's a delay.
Now it's on. Now it's on. Yeah. But before I didn't hear anything.
So no audio for the second stream. She's gonna... He's gonna take my hand. Because... Logical decision, huh?
Ouch.
He's immediately gonna throw out that draw 4. No? Thank you for my hand back.
You dick.
How am I mean for that? What are you challenging? What?
Because I can.
No! You son of a whore. Why? He's gonna win. Someone change the color. Thank you. Keep picking up. Oh, damn it. Yeah, fuck you, AI pudding. Quarantine? I don't know. It's giving me a little bit more insight into things that I can be doing. For instance, doing the whole podcast thing and just trying to create a little bit more of a bond, a friendship with people, taking advantage of business opportunities, things like that. Hasn't really hurt me per se because I'm an essential worker, but you know, it hasn't bombed on me. I know it's affected my wife more than it's affected me for sure. You know, she doesn't have work, and finding work is a bit of a hassle, and then having to go on unemployment and all of that extra stuff. It's a great time. He's doing you dirty. I'm never playing poker with you, Kat. I'm never playing it with you. Heavy had a decent hand.
Yeah, I did.
I also had a really decent hand, as you can see. Kind of.
Almost salty.
Incredibly fucking salty right now. Thank you, Heavy. I'm gonna need to switch this to teams, because I don't need you fucking my shit up like this. I'm sorry, I barely heard you. What? So go ahead, lead the way.
Go, yeah, let's go.
Yes. God damn you, Heavy. Well, first off, I don't fully understand why they're changing the logo for Aunt Jemima. Why is that? We're here in America. Everything comes from a racist background.
So
There are people like who are protesting Wendy's
well,
because yeah, go ahead.
the thing with the Wendy's one is because of what happened in Atlanta.
But like it happened on the premises, you know. It's not like the worker was like coming out from behind the counter and going, shoot that man, shoot him, do it, you know.
It kind of depends on how you want to look at things, right? So it's almost like they're blaming Wendy's for what happened when Wendy's wasn't even the people that called the cops.
There's a lot of people are going, oh well, you know, Wendy's is racist and I'm not going to support their business anymore, and it makes absolutely no sense to me.
Hey, I just had Wendy's before the stream started.
But you more or less get the point I'm making. Like, just because something happens or because the CEO of a business believes something doesn't mean that the business itself is bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. It's this outrage, cancel culture type deal that's going on right now, and it's stupid.
But here's the thing about, like, don't listen or buy their product, because there are people out there who are all for Starbucks, right? And then something racial happened at Starbucks, and then are like, oh, don't support Starbucks, and it's like, it's not Starbucks' fault that this specific action happened. So you not supporting their business doesn't actually do anything in the grand context of everything. And you also got to keep in mind, people use the argument, oh, but you're like supporting their agenda. All of our money doesn't even belong to us. Their agenda is already supported. You know?
Yeah.
It makes no sense not to support quote unquote a business just because the business may have this type of belief. The food doesn't have that belief. The coffee doesn't believe that people are racist. Like,
I mean, that is very true.
you know, the baristas who are working in the shop may or may not be racist. You wouldn't know unless they openly called it out.
But that just goes back to the fact that right now everybody's seeing everything as racist. Yeah, I mean, you can do something completely normal, and somebody's gonna be like, "Well, that's racist against this type of people," and you're like, "How?"
But you also got Trump to thank for that. Like, real talk.
I'll give you that one.
You know, he makes it okay for you to for you to say whatever it is you want to say. Oh, I hate this. Tiki torches.
Good call back to Charleston. Or not Charleston, Charlottesville. I hate all of you right now.
Elaborate. I think Cat is hating you more right now. Don't call it. I'm telling you right now, don't call it. It wasn't about keeping the game going. He had to pick up until he had a color card.
I don't know, I mean, just some of the stuff going on right now is just mind-boggling.
I knew it. I mean, in terms of like the looting and the protest and violent police and go ahead, Kat. You was about to get real passionate in that. Yo, I done seen someone walk out with some shoes, fam. Like, I'm pro-black, but these J's are really nice, so I'm gonna have to go cop that right quick.
Well, depending on who you subscribe to, they could be doing any number of things. If you're a conspiracy theorist, all the rioters and looters were bussed in to cause this amount of chaos.
I know, it's really weird. I do agree with
some Alex Jones level conspiracy theory.
I do agree with the whole peaceful protest thing, but I feel like when people talk about this, they ignore why it all started in the first place. So rather, who this particular movement started off of, and that's George Floyd. And no one's ever not really mentioning the family anymore. Like, do you guys know that the family started a George Floyd Foundation in prevention of police brutality?
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's not getting any funding. Like, it'll definitely be forgotten. Again, like, the family was forgotten. You know, this whole movement started off of them, but nobody's supporting the family. No celebrity is coming and going, hey, an anti-racism foundation sounds pretty dang good. Like, let's go ahead and jump on the bandwagon with that. And to not to mention that it's a non-profit. And they were forced to make it a non-profit, I feel like. I don't feel like that was by choice. I still have fireworks going off in the background. I really do think people are jumping on a bandwagon.
Everybody's hopping on the bandwagon because they're afraid if they don't, they're going to be labeled as a racist.
That's actually a really good point. I didn't think about it like that.
You know, because it's coming to the point to where if you do not specifically support in this political climate, if you do not specifically support black people, that you are automatically the biggest racist ever. So with everybody jumping on the Juneteenth thing, that's only because they don't want people to be like, oh, well, this person's such a racist, they don't care about Juneteenth, you know. Everybody's afraid to be just called a racist, you know. And a lot of times it doesn't matter whether or not this person actually is a racist. They will just call you a racist because fucking reasons. You know,
That's true.
You don't even have to do anything racist to be called a racist anymore. It's like, oh, well, you know, like in my case, I'm just a bald white guy. You know, they're look at me and be like, well, he's a skinhead, so he's racist. Like,
he's a skinhead, so.
It's like, hold up here, you know? Y'all don't know anything about me. How are you gonna sit there and just automatically assume racism? Now, if I was to sit there and like throw up the Heil Hitler salute or something like that, yeah, by all means, that would make me a fucking racist. But just being a bald white dude does not.
I don't know. I feel like people are getting hit pretty hard. Even on social media, you know, you're hearing reports of people getting like fired from shows and stuff because of a statements someone made 3, 4, 5 years ago, and it just makes no sense to me.
Like that's running rampant.
He did a whole tour for that called the Apology Tour, right?
What's the... Oh, that hurt.
I'm sorry, Brett. I'm sorry, bro.
He's really not. But it's
I'm completely sorry.
Like they're also trying to, you know, going after like corporations. Like I don't know if you guys saw, but some random dude on Twitter wanted to go after Domino's.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, what is this story? You need to share this.
Okay, so granted it does involve the press secretary of the White House. So Trump's little mouthpiece right now. But apparently 8 years ago she put out a tweet that said Domino's was better than NYC Pizza. Domino's responded saying, hey, that's a great compliment, thank you. This dude dug through all her tweets for 8 years, found that, and said, Domino's, you're about to get canceled. I'm paraphrasing, but, you know, basically like that.
That's fine, yeah.
And Domino's was just like, well, we didn't know that thanking somebody in 2012 for a compliment could be viewed as political, but that's 2020 for you.
I thought the color was green, but he turned it green. It was red, wasn't it?
I honestly don't know that.
Oh, some people are cruel. They'll do. There's this guy on YouTube, Shift, he's a SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom speedrunner, and there's a Facebook page and a whole group of people dedicated to ruining like his life and his ideas. And it turns out he used a derogatory term for a gay person 3 years ago, and for that he was not able to go to AGDQ, one of the biggest gaming charity events of the year, because of a comment from 3 years ago. But people actively searched and clipped that specific stream where he said that specific word and sent it to AGDQ just to make sure that he couldn't go there.
I mean, that's it's messed up. That's how society is now.
But here's the thing, politics, I feel like should stay where it's at. You know, governmental politics. It shouldn't leak all the way into new media, or rather, it shouldn't have an effect on what your beliefs are today based off of what you said years ago. You know, people do grow.
Exactly.
People do mature, and I feel like it's wrong to define a person in that instance based off of something they've probably said while they were upset or angry or less mature. It just makes no sense to me.
Exactly. I mean, but the kicker to all of this is, at least, you know, from what I've seen, is a lot of it just seems to be selective. Like,
Right.
They will overlook some of the things that other people have done if they follow the, I guess for lack of a better term, like the party line.
Mm-hmm.
They will overlook somebody's past indiscretions.
Yeah.
And that's what bothers me. It's like, okay, you want to go after somebody who 12 years ago thanked Domino's, and you want to go after Domino's for that. But yet you're going to sit there and you're not going to worry about, you know, your own political party's state governor who has photos of him chilling in blackface. Y'all want none of that.
Oh, some strong feelings coming on here. Why do you think they don't want any of that, though?
Because I think that it's literally they don't want to admit that their side is doing this. They want to live in their own echo chamber where everything's sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns, and anybody who disagrees with you is some kind of fascist.
I mean, fascist is an interesting word, because an anti-fascist organization is considered a terrorist group by Trump.
Yes, I know that he has declared Antifa a terrorist group, and depending on how you look at it, he could be right, he could be wrong. It all depends on an individual's perspective of it.
I think it's kind of odd to call something a terrorist group opposing a fascist viewpoint. I'm not saying that Trump is fascist, but a lot of the stuff he does fall under the category of fascism, and Antifa is anti-fascism.
Well,
Does that make them a terror? It makes them a threat to Trump's point of view for a lot of things, but does that really make them terrorists?
Well, it also makes, you know, everything that Antifa does tends to be very fascist as well. Using threats of violence to suppress somebody's free speech.
Well, if we're looking at it from a legal standpoint, I guess, yeah. If we're looking at the Declaration of Independence, if we're looking at amendments and things like that, anything anybody does would technically be fascist or out of line or something along those lines, because, you know, that stuff isn't set in stone. There's tons of loopholes.
There is. I'm not saying it's not nuanced, but, you know, like, case in point, a couple years ago when there was the Battle of Berkeley.
Okay.
Where Milo Yiannopoulos, who in and of himself is just a giant troll, was doing Free Speech Week, and Antifa and their ilk, I don't want to just lob out like the left or anything like that, because you know,
You got it.
fairly certain there were some assholes out there on both sides. But they showed up and they legitimately started to riot. To the point to where Milo had to cancel the event due to the safety of others. You know, they don't think that, well, let me rephrase. That group does not think that anybody should have free speech if it does not agree with them. Now, granted, this is all just going off of what I've seen. I'm not trying to paint the broad stroke here. You know, this is all just from what I have seen. So, you know, I don't want anybody to think, oh, he's lumping them in there. No, I'm just going off my own personal research and viewing of things. Other people can see it differently.
I mean, that's the beauty of it. No one can take your thinker away.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah. Finally, 45 minutes for a game. Oh, it's not over yet. This game goes to 500 people. We need to start working as a team.
We got way too distracted on this topic.
I don't know. I guess I'm that type of person to incline to agree to disagree. Not everybody's going to get along on the same topic. That much I understand. It's just
yes.
What? There's that's the emphasis, right? The keeping it respectful. That just doesn't happen. It's like we were talking not that long ago, heavy, based off a conversation I was having with my wife about how personal people take politics, especially when it comes to the Democratic and Republican parties, and how if you're siding with one or the other, it's a personal attack on you for whatever the reason.
It's like, oh my God, this person's a Democrat. How dare they? It's like, it doesn't work like that, my guy. You know, we all... I can sit here and be friends with somebody who is a Democrat, Republican, conservative, a liberal, whatever.
A green, an orange juice, whatever. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. It's like, the vast majority of people literally do not care what you identify as. They don't care what your political affiliation is. They're more inclined to make their kind of, whether or not they want a friendship or anything kind of relationship out of you, based on how you are as a person, not a political affiliation.
Right. I mean, and let's keep in mind that the Democratic and Republican parties really aren't that different when they're setting an ultimate goal. You know, they're fighting for power. They both have their scams. They both have their ways of getting things. They both lie to the people. They both had presidents that have done bad for the country. They both had presidents that's done good for the country. I think identifying with one or the other shouldn't be based off of how you feel a group should be, but rather what is best for the country. And I feel like people don't make a decision based on that. You know, you as a person are making a decision, hey, I want to make sure my neighbor's okay, but we live in a society where a lot of people think about themselves rather than the majority.
Yeah.
And that's just a personal belief, you know.
I mean, that's very... How did I hear somebody put it? It's one of the American styles. Shit, why did I do that?
I'm sitting here wondering.
I got way too distracted. Oh well. Have that win.
Thank you. We might as well give it to the AI at this point, real talk. He's at 343 points. Where are we at? Still in the single digits?
0.
The double digits.
then again, I have not been paying attention at all.
You know what? Just give it to me, buddy. I don't care. I'll take it. That being said, out of all of that, what's a positive message each of you would leave everybody with, especially given the state of the world right now?
Mine, just don't be a dick.
Oops, I didn't mean to play that. I meant to play the 5.
Like, let's just be real. The world's messed up enough as it is. And if all you're gonna do is continually throw out negativity and aggression, then you really are not helping anything. So just don't be a dick.
I guess mine would be the same message I push for years now. And I guess it's a bit piece of wisdom. Push for what you believe in, push for your dreams, push for your goals, fight for them. Fight for your beliefs, fight for your dreams, fight for your goals. And then of course, dream of being better, doing better, and allowing better to come of whatever you're doing. Push, fight, dream. Push, fight, dream, push, fight, dream. And let that be a never-ending circle so that you can better yourself and those around you. Uplift people when they're in need, and hopefully somewhere down the line they'll help uplift you when you're in need. That being said, we have 4 minutes until the podcast is over, so I think I'm gonna go hard body into this Uno match, and then we'll end the stream. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
And I've been wanting to say this. Fuck you, Heavy. I'm so tired. Your shenanigans. So tired of your shenanigans. I seen what you did to me, man. I feel bad for the AI right now. Look at his card count. For the Uno match, but fam, take it. Oh, okay. That's what I thought.
Alright, all I'm taking is 2. Come on, man, you can do better.
I could, but I'll be nice.
Oh, I hate you. I had a plan.
If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Go check out the page over there on Facebook, Some Salty Gamers Podcast Official. And while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and give my other page a good old look. Other pages, rather. Twitter and Instagram at Dodetsuke. You can catch me on Facebook at Dodetsuke. You can catch me on YouTube at The Crimson Waters. Yeah. You can also catch me on Twitch. Oh, the links will be there when Heavy edits them in.
Oh yeah, I forgot I gotta do that.
That's fine.
Come through the PSN and knock me out.
I have not sighed yet. I've been holding them back. It's been hard. To be real with you. How many fucking cards do I have in my hand? It looks endless. I felt like my car's had a scroll barges now. Isn't that okay? God, I hate every ounce of y'all right now. Anyway, thank you. This is going to be my usual cast. Heavy Sins 1911, Monoshiro 24, otherwise known as Cat. Thank you guys for joining me. This is Some Salty Gamer Podcast, and we will see you next time.